We've got Mathas and Daniel and an egg. Just kidding, it's Ryan.
They're playing video games. Shut up, it's about to start.
0.00%, boys.
Gotta wake up pretty early in the morning. Arctic Ascent, boys. You guys ready?
Wait one moment. I just want to see. It's only been played by 10 people.
Okay.
So there's a chance that it's beatable.
Whoever beats it here could be the first one in the history of mankind to beat Arctic Ascent.
I would say will be.
Ooh.
The confidence.
Well, I mean, you think there's like 100 other people playing this level simultaneously right now?
Fair.
Have to find out.
Are you ready?
3, 2, 1. Good luck, boys. Quick score update. Ryan, Gary with 5, Daniel and Mathas each with 3. We can close the gap here a
We
little
can do
bit.
it. We can do it.
Standard, short, and sweet. Reese, the UK.
Standard, short, and sweet.
Oh, I'm already dead because I'm bad.
I feel like I haven't encountered that wind mechanic until today.
Yeah, it's not an as common obstacle, I'd say, is definitely fair. I see what he's going for. I've picked up on what he's going for, and I'm very upset by it.
Oh yeah, me too.
What's he going for?
You need to hit the wind at an opportune moment to avoid the spikes.
Oh, new mechanic.
It's very good tutorialization because he gives you that little section where, like, if you don't hit it properly, it spits you out and forces you to, just do the wind, like to demonstrate that you understand the mechanic before you can progress to the point where it would actually kill you, which is
Oh, I like it.
that's smart level design.
Yeah.
Now, it's still pretty tough, but that's okay.
It's tough and fair is okay.
Okay. I've made it through the first nightmare.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fair.
Oh, I made it to the first checkpoint. And then immediately died because I was very flustered. Dude, this is a really, actually good example of a level done right now, in my opinion.
You're saying that just because you're in the lead or because you actually believe it?
Because I actually believe, I like any level that demonstrates its gimmick before actually forcing you to know it.
So basically, it's for loose translation. It's like, hey, we're gonna ride a bike. Let me put you on the bike with training wheels.
Yeah.
And then let me take the training wheels off, but still hold on to the bike. And then now I'm gonna take my hand off the bike, and you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I like that it gives you like instructions, which is really cool because in Mario Maker, you can't really give instructions except in the language of Mario. You gotta demonstrate how something is going to be done by doing it instead of just typing like,
Forehead.
basically.
All right, I got it. What's wrong, Mathas?
I just can't get past the spike part.
Well, you're in for a treat. Because that's the whole level.
All right, Gary, how's the workout business going?
Dude, it's been really good, honestly. Like, I was a little bit, I had to take a week off because I was ill, but, I'm back into it and feeling good.
Did you find it hard to kick the tires and light the fires after you took 7 days off, or were you ready to go?
I was ready to go. I wanted to go earlier, but I was like, first off, I'm sure that it's probably counterproductive to go to the gym when you're sick anyway. But secondly, I was like, it's pretty selfish to just be like, well, I want to work out, so I'm going to risk getting everybody else sick. So I stayed at home and I watched The Shawshank Redemption.
Finally, right?
And it was, but I think, that's, we were talking about it on Twitter. The most important thing is just not letting yourself get out of the habit. Because as long as you're in the habit, it's automatic. You're going to force yourself to go because you feel worse if you don't go than if you do. But if you have a good excuse to not do it, like, oh, I'm away, I'm sick, blah, 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 then you really got to be like dialed in when you're better or when you're able so that you don't let it lapse. That's my 2 cents at least.
So my 2 cents are, I thought you didn't like the people at your gym, so I thought you.
Oh no, I hate the people in my gym. I did like. Yes, I harbored some fantasies of them all getting the Spanish flu, but it's kind of an irresponsible act.
You ever wear any Twitch paraphernalia at the gym?
Yeah, mostly because I don't like to wear them outside, so they make good gym clothes.
Has anyone ever gave you the old tap on the shoulder at the gym?
Only at my back when I was running in 2014, I was getting changed in the locker room, and a dude was like, "Hey, are you a streamer?" And it was a dude from Red Hook Games, the developers of Darkest Dungeon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't you
When
meet
they were-
Corey in a doctor's office or something?
I was in the dentist's office, and Kate was at the mall near the dentist's office, and then Kate was recognized by Corey.
Ah. I don't know why in my head I always picture you guys going to the same doctor and like being in the room.
Because we're both bald. So we've got very similar medical concerns.
Dude, this first spike part after the first checkpoint is killing me.
It's tough.
It's because they're so rapidly back to back.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know if you want to know where you go from there. I don't know, dude. You might be fine with the pipe if you get to the pipe, enjoy your life, and tell me how you feel about it.
I can see the pipe, but I can't.
I might skip the pipe and try to go around, but I don't know if that's the right path. I just want to put out a plea to the community again. Like, I think this level is good, but you have to recognize what kind of show we're trying to put on here.
We can all go silent, try hard, but
well, we'd like to be able to beat the levels in under half an hour. So if your level has an under 1% clear rate, that's not plausible. And I use the metaphor off camera. I was like, if you make like some G.G. Allen music video where you're like defecating yourself, you don't submit it to TRL and be like, hey, can you put this on the air? I mean, you can submit it as like a troll. Maybe that's what you're doing. But
okay,
so
I made it to Pipe Town.
If we were TRL, who would you be as a VJ?
I mean, I don't know any TRL VJs except for Carson Daly.
Oh my god, dude, what the hell is this?
Bill Bellamy?
Isn't he the coach of the New England Patriots?
Kennedy?
That's Bill Belichick.
Jamie Kennedy?
Oh, Kennedy. Oh!
I don't know who any of these
Would be
people
nice
are.
there. Simon Rex? You know Simon Rex?
I know Kurt Loder.
Oh, Kurt Loder.
Kurt Loder's in all the movies about celebrities. There's always an MTV news briefing, and then Kurt Loder goes like, Derek Zoolander found dead in an apartment.
Did you go into the green pipe, Ryan? It's pointless, by the way.
You beat it and it's pointless?
Yes, it literally drops you back on top of the green pipe. It's 3 1-ups at the end of it.
Oh, well, that's not pointless.
Well, if you get it, I guess if you get it in like a endless mode, it's good, but.
Dunk, you.
Dude, I actually very much appreciate the investigative journalism on that one. Oh, you son of a...
Fuck!
But I do appreciate this is actually like a good level.
Yeah.
It's a well-designed hard level instead of
I agree.
what we typically get. Well, that's not fair. Instead of what I typically get in Endless, which is like, ha 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 ha, boss rush. What if you fought Bowser 20 times and then the 21st time there's a
Meowser.
car? Well, yeah. Or I like level that's called Mario Kart, and then if you just ignore the car, then you
win.
It's just easier. Yeah, that's another great one.
No!
Matt, when can we expect your D&D themed area level?
When you Team Unity plays D&D with me.
Oh. All right, boys.
I mean, Mathas, you blew a lot of levels. You should make your own.
The reckoning shall return.
I can't wait to see your cannons sync up.
That's like people being like, Ryan, your videos are shit, and then not making videos of their own because...
Yeah, I know. It's hypocritical. I agree. If they had cojones, they would make videos that I could watch.
What are you talking about?
Somebody, like when Indie Mouse makes fun of my videos, I'm like, you get it, you're a creator. I mean, you're kind of, being the opposite of the change you want to see in the world, but I understand.
All right, well, Dan, you found Endgame so boring, make your own Endgame.
Okay, now that's like ridiculous. Dan hasn't seen Endgame. He thought Infinity.
It's nap time.
No, I didn't see Endgame. What's the one I saw? Infinity? I fell asleep in
Arguably
Infinity
more
War.
exciting.
I'll give you an argument. help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Stop,
Okay,
you
we made
ice.
it. We made it to green pipes a second time. But we have to go around
How
green
do-
pipes.
Have anyone cleared the jump to the right of green pipe?
The jump? You mean like riding Airboy all the way over?
Oh, there's an airboy you can ride. Okay. I feel like Ryan's close.
Ryan's
Not at
quiet,
all,
so.
no. I gave a Jim Halpert look to the camera because when you said there was an airboy there, I wanted to look at the camera and laugh because that's literally the whole level.
Well, I didn't see one on the screen. So you just gotta wait for it? Forehead?
Again, this is one of those times where I think you would
You're
benefit.
not gonna
from-
placate?
Well, I mean, what do you mean? You just wait for it? You just ride it over. That's what you do in all the obstacles so far.
This is where
I
we
know,
find
but
out
on the
Dan
other-
What do you do?
uploaded
You
like.
spin jump on it, and the end is just gonna appear in front of you and be like, you set a new 80%, 100% world record.
I thought maybe you could make the jump with a little bit of sauce behind you.
Dude,
It's not easy.
no.
But honestly, like, no.
fair.
winning.
It's fair.
Yeah. But I think also, like, to circle back, I think Mathis, you'd have fun making your own level.
Oh, I made some levels in the first Mario Maker.
Yeah, but that was like 6 years ago.
That's true.
I mean, like, what have you made lately?
Nothing. I just sleep all day.
I would think Mathis would make a troll level. I just
No,
Why do I think
I
that?
don't troll. I don't make troll levels. I don't make the one thing I hate playing just because I want vengeance on strangers.
That's what worries me is the people. I worry about some of these troll makers. They have like they have a problem with society. They're like, society's, hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt them back. And then when somebody boos their level because they're like, this is a troll and it sucks, they're like, this is an outrage. This is
Haven't you heard of free
unfair.
speech?
The level of persecution I'm experiencing. How dare somebody boo my level just because there's a soft lock in it? I don't understand.
That's any level that has like a soft lock is an auto boo for me. I don't care how good
I
it
think
is.
that's more fair, but also not. I don't think you can live your Mario Maker life by any rule like that. I played a level that had a soft lock, and I was mad that I got soft locked, but the level was fun. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna wait 180 seconds for the time to tick down. Instead, I will just start the whole level over and do it again. And I had a wonderful time.
well,
Po Buddy's Nerfic, dude.
on my side of the world, we got an NSNB situation. No skip, no boo.
I think that's. I mean, you do skip, and skipping is fair. I do. I'm kind of
Endless, I won't
anti-boo now as well. Like skipping, I have no problem with, because I think skipping is just good for entertainment value.
Yeah.
Not just if a level is bad, but you're like, I don't know what to do, so I can either sit here and die 15 times in the same way, or we could play something where we can actually, have some entertainment. But booing, I'm like, You wouldn't believe, so I've been, it's been a journey of self-discovery in 2019 to become a more positive person inside and out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the amount of resistance you get for trying to be more positive.
The internet is
People,
inherently a
yesterday-
negative place.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yesterday I was talking about how, abject negativity and, being just cynical about absolutely everything is super lame. Like 10 people in chat are like, you were one of the most negative people I know. And I was like,
I would wholeheartedly disagree with that.
thank you. I appreciate it. First off, you don't know me. I don't know who you are.
See, that's the key though, right?
Dogtooth 94. I got no idea who you
People
are.
know the show you put on, but they don't know you after you turn the camera off.
But I also don't feel like I'm that negative on the show.
Yeah,
I feel like we banter and we make jokes at other people's expense sometimes. But I'm never like, mushrooms suck. Ooh,
No,
I
but-
hate rain.
But people who don't know you are gonna hear the jokes out of the people's expenses and think that's what
I
you
do
are.
think there's an element of that, but I think people, I don't know, I think there's the idea, there's been the image portrayed that I'm a negative person, when that actually doesn't bear out.
No, you're
in
not a negative
reality.
person at all.
Honestly, you're bringing a tear to my eye right now. I appreciate it.
No, but even the jokes, I feel like they're delivered in a non-malicious way. You're not trying to
But there are people out there who just don't understand sarcasm.
Yeah.
But it's not even sarcasm. It's like a rib, you know? You're jabbing a guy in the ribs. You're not breaking his ribs. You know what I'm saying?
And again, I know, and I'm with you when I'm saying all this. And the people who are pointing out all the bad things are probably a huge minority, and they're just loud. But for some people, hearing that just reinforces their personal beliefs that whoever you're ribbing and making fun of doesn't deserve the job they have, and they should have it, or their lives are shit and they want your life, so now they can pile on and just be like, hey, you're a piece of shit.
Well, my take on it is, and you tell me, Ryan, because you said you made it a conscious effort.
Yeah.
When you make that conscious effort, I don't want to say life gets easier, but things seem to get a lot better. Like,
my mental
feel
health
better.
has been so much better this year. Like, now that I mean, I've never been in like a terrible state mental health wise anyway, but like now that I don't make an effort to court that sort of negativity, like now that I'm just like, you know, I could tweet like I don't like thing, but instead I could just keep my mouth shut, and then probably like 45 minutes from now I'll be happier.
Yep.
Like actually recognizing that has been like a huge help. I think what it is honestly that there's just there's people who like they just love to argue no matter what. That's kind of like where I'm at in my journey of self-discovery, and ignoring those people has been really helpful. Like when you're like, I'm trying to be more positive, and people are like, well, does that mean nobody should be able to say negative things? Actually, isn't positivity harmful? Would you be positive if you were best friends with Adolf Hitler? Like maybe some negativity would have helped you out in that situation. I was like, dude, I don't think you're arguing in good faith, and I think this is kind of like a weird discussion. I don't really know why you chose to go down this path, but you know, it takes two to tango, and you're going to be dancing in solitary right now.
But I would also argue, like physically, in my opinion, whether it's true or not, I feel like when you make an effort to look out for the betterment in things, you physically feel better as well.
Oh, yeah, I do agree, honestly. That's why Pokemon Go has been a lot of fun, too. Sometimes, you know, maybe I'd be bored at home, which doesn't happen that often, but, you know, oh, what am I going to do? Oh, let's just refresh Twitter for 20 minutes, or, you know, go on Reddit for 20 minutes or something like that. Now I'm like, let's just take a walk around the neighborhood and, you know,
get out.
And then when I get home, you know, maybe I haven't accomplished that much, but I've taken a walk around the neighborhood. I feel good.
Yeah, I mean,
get a little vitamin D.
I don't want to get too deep, but I think that's like over the past couple years since I started the show on Twitch, like that was a huge focus, because I think, I don't know which one of you guys said it, like you get a lot of resistance to, you know, focusing on the positive, but I think that's been a really big key to help, you know, things with the show, you know, and it feels good to put on a show where you're like, hey, you know, you're at least making someone not feel bad.
Yeah, and moreover, like you've built your community that way from the ground up. Whereas, I mean, it's not like, I mean, you've been doing YouTube for a long time, but I feel like Mathas and I were a little bit more gaming focused early. And the culture when we started was definitely like, everybody was like, I'm the, you know, the angry video game nerd. I'm the irate gamer. I'm the, you know, you get the idea. Angry Joe, you know. And what's funny is that like a lot of those guys are not actually that angry.
No, not at all.
No. Like,
oh, really?
But like, I think you've done it in a way that, you know, if I won't speak for Mathas, but if I could go back and like, you know, how do I want to focus on building my community? You know, I would definitely, I think, put more of a focus on like having a positive attitude instead of like
1000%. If I could kill off a lot of the annoying preconceived jokes about me as a person because of the way I probably built my community in the beginning and how I rode certain jokes a little too long, I would 100% undo it.
I still think you can, Mathas. I don't think.
Oh,
you know,
I agree. It's more work now than it would have been if I just from day one was like, you know what? We're not going to be a community of just mean people and poking fun of other people, or
well, you know, the
what
other
have
thing
you.
Is like, back
I
in
wouldn't
the
have
day,
rode the fuck Mathas joke as long as I did. That's the one thing I wouldn't have done.
But also back in the day, we were just like happy to have an audience. So even if it was like,
yeah, that's also
if
true.
it was an audience of people who are like, hey, Baldy, I hate you. Here's all the ways that you're stupid. I was like,
hey, thanks for the view.
Yeah, still thanks for the money. And now I'm like, dude, I'm doing all right. I would rather you just be quiet.
Yeah.
Like at first it was worth it because I thought there was no other way. And now I realize, like, you know, you don't have to trade in being insulted for money. Instead, you could just recognize that, you produce entertainment, and then if people are being weird about it, then you could just like ban them or block them. and if they're mad, then like that's okay. Maybe they'll learn a lesson, or maybe they won't.
It's not your job.
Yeah, you can't really control other people, I guess.
What do you say about the levels? You can't control the level. You can only control your outputs.
That's it, Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, you can't control the difficulty of the level. You can only control the difficulty of your mind.
Ooh, is this a soft lock? I see what Dan means
I saw his
now.
eyes light up.
I see what Dan means now, though. Like when you get past Green Pipe, the other Wind Boy didn't spawn for me. And he's been there every single time for me, except for this one time.
Can you go back?
Yeah, maybe I'll try going through maybe I'll go through the pipe and come back.
Oh, there you go.
Unless I can't. Oh yeah, I have to go through this whole freaking rigmarole.
I would say for our good level,
Man.
but too hard. This is too hard for our video purposes, especially because this might be an Austin situation where there's a third checkpoint maybe, or a second checkpoint that leads to a third section.
Fair. Yeah. Is it labeled short and sweet at all?
Yes.
It is labeled short and sweet. I don't know.
Which is just, that's toxic. Honestly, you can get, that's against the Nintendo terms of service. My dad can have you banned, so, you're lucky. But no, I think, honestly, I've taken a lot of inspiration, and this is not, meant to insult anybody else in our community, of streamers. But, I've taken a lot of inspiration from you, Dan, and I've taken a lot of inspiration from the way Mouth runs the show as well. You guys have a lot less toxicity to deal with, and I think a big part of that is that you just, I don't know, part of it is just not engaging with it, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think
appreciate you saying that.
there's also, you set the example, I suppose. No!
I agree. I think it's just the longer we do this, the more the less patience we have for that kind of garbage in our lives. Anyway, I think.
Yeah. No,
I think for me, Dan has always been somebody who's been super, super positive in the way he runs things, and that's panned out for you exceptionally well.
I think I don't know. If you're living your life right, I think you kind of like yourself more as you get
That's
older.
also really true. Yeah.
Back in the day when people would be like, "Hey, dummy, you're a real dummy because you screwed up this part in the video game," I'd be like, "Yeah, I am pretty dumb." Now I'm like, "Nah, I'm actually probably way smarter than you are." The person making this content. So
I'm more successful than you'll ever be.
It's not even about that. It's just
See, that's just the selfish part of me that can't help but you can shit at me all you want, but I get to do this and you don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't want to create that kind of antagonistic relationship, though. I think that. I think if you frame the people as your enemy that much, it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I don't want you to say that. I don't.
Oh my lord.
It's not like I go out of my way and reply to the people saying I get to do this. It's just my way of being able to don't bother replying.
Yeah.
Whether that's right or wrong. It's up
Hey,
to
have you
the
guys got
individual.
to
But
yellow blocks yet?
No.
So once you clear it, you get to yellow blocks, and there's no checkpoint.
Little too hard.
But I will say this. I think you can. I think with the experience that you guys are talking about, you can change whatever you want. You know what I mean?
think so
Yeah.
too.
I think another thing that really woke me up to the, just being a more positive person. Oh.
It's
He's actually
okay.
done it.
There is no toxicity. It is short and sweet. No, I mean, but it's just and I think you learn things.
I died at the wall at the end.
Oh God.
You're right. As soon as you let me know that it's doable, I was like, oh, I'm unlocked. Potential is activated. But I agree with both of you. I think you can do it. It is just more active work.
Yeah.
It also takes a little bit of a recognizance or recognition of the fact that the community is a reflection of yourself to some extent. And
For sure.
when
100%.
you if you tweet negative stuff and then 2 days later you're like, why is my community so negative? it's been a rude awakening that, like, you know, I can be snobby and dismissive and cynical and probably a little arrogant as well. And then when people reply to me with that, I'm like, dude, why are you acting like a jerk? And I'm like, oh, I get it. You're acting like a jerk because you're acting a little bit like me, but I don't know who you are to know that
You're acting like a jerk.
Yeah, well, like, it's, you know, if your friend acts like a jerk,
jest.
it's like, oh, that's just how he is sometimes.
Right.
But that's, I mean, yeah. Well,
That's what baffles me about those kinds of people who are mean as well, who are just like question why you do collaborations with the people you do when they think you hate them. When it's like, if I hated them, why would I work with them? Like, there's just an inherent fallible logic that you're applying.
Well, Ryan Gear, you kind of hit that on the head. It's like, you know, you got to be a little active, but pretty soon what happens is like, and it makes it a lot easier is then the community kind of, someone comes in the community that's like, you know, memeing or doing something that's not supposed to. It's kind of fixes itself. But at the same time, like, I found it interesting because I always like analyze stuff, but not super deep. But I found it interesting yesterday. So I tweeted out to Ryan. I'm like, hey, I'm like, hey, this was Ryan's best level, I thought. And you responded with like a normal thank you. Yeah. Did you notice that? And then did you see what followed after that? It was
I did
like,
not. What was it?
People were like, oh, very wholesome interaction. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Where normally it would be like you and I would get into like a jab, you know, like a smiley jab fest, you know?
I don't know. Like, it's frustrating too, because like, honestly, the other thing I would do if I could go back, like, making a positive community is one thing, but like we started our channels or brands, whatever you want to call them, in like the infancy of social media. Where,
Yes.
Like, it was like, hey, like 1,000 people care what I had for lunch. Isn't that cool? And the answer is like, no, that's like extremely not cool. And I know that now. If I could go back and like sanitize my social media, not from like, you know, controversial opinions or anything, but just from like, hey, don't ever expect me to tweet anything personal from this. This is just like video and, you know, like awareness of new content. That's all.
Why would you do that different? Because I feel like, and this is speaking as both someone who enjoys your content and also a friend, like, I enjoy that kind of stuff though, but you wouldn't do that from the start? Like when you talk about movies or whatever.
It depends what it is, but I think to some extent, a lot of the things that I perceive as toxic in the community come from people who have, you know, they've read so much personal stuff or listened to so much personal stuff about me and the other people on the show that they kind of think that
they know us.
Yeah, not even like, I mean, to some extent they do know us, but they're also only seeing like a little part of it.
I was gonna say, they know what we are showing them.
Yeah, but there's also been like a little bit of like, I would almost describe it, as like toxic empathy. Is like people who end up being toxic because they care so much about us that any perceived slight to a person is like they take it as their mantle to like take care of. So I think like, I am kind of envious of people that have maintained like a less personal relationship with the way that they communicate. And as a result, you know, it's not like when people talk about their content, they're talking about them as a human being. They're talking about like the show.
Yeah, correct.
Basically. Time as well.
I wish. It's such a weird position for me to be in right now too. Like, personally speaking, just because my sense of humor is garbage. It always has been. It's just how I am.
But why do you say that? Like, what does that mean?
My sense of humor is lowbrow. I find lowbrow stuff hilarious for the most part.
What's lowbrow?
Sex jokes, that kind of stuff, you know, that stuff. But the problem is, while that normally, we live in a time now where that is dangerous, so it's hard. I find myself biting my tongue more often than I wouldn't, and I would go, if I could go back, I would not lean on that style of humor so heavily.
But what if that's organic to you, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there comes a point where what's organic to you and what's good for your business do not necessarily coalesce.
I mean, I don't think you're like in danger of being like an unwoke content creator.
No, but at the same time, I also get plenty of comments calling me a creep and a pedophile, so...
Really?
You know what I mean?
Why though? What do you like? Wouldn't that be the last thing?
It's a good question. That's a very good question. Probably because of the whole anime stuff that I go on Twitter and the honey pop era of my channel that I found fun and hilarious, but people kind of latched onto that, and they weirdly, to people outside of my community specifically, that's what I am on the outside looking in. That's what they see. They see, oh, he loves anime tits and he's all sex all the time. When in reality, most of my channel is kind of like heavy storytelling RP stuff. But
You did try to get sponsored by Newtaku.
oh, dude, I would have taken that money in a heartbeat.
The hentai video game website.
But again, the sense of humor. It's not. I don't sit here and beat off to hentai every day, or you know what I mean. Like, it's not what I do. But that's what people think I do, and that's a hard thing to shake.
Yeah.
When it comes to people who don't know me, who may only see me through collaboration videos, and the thing they think of me is like anime porn perv boy. What's the next line?
I don't think I think we're tight.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that
too.
it? Oh yeah, that's right. That we beat it 30 minutes. I gave it an I like it, by the way. I thought it was good.
That was a good level. It was very difficult, but I saw that Dan had the world record too.
Yeah, well, first.
Wait, that was
clear.
Dan's avatar? Dang. Was that it then?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And check out multiple perspectives, of course. If you're watching this on one person's channel, you can put them all up and see us all die at the same part over and over again simultaneously.
Yeah, shout out to the person in your subreddit who does ViewSync every single episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
And we'll see you next time.
Later.
Goodbye.